Good afternoon, everybody. I'm JC Caldwell, filling in for Randy Aldridge today. He's having fun on vacation. We'll let him enjoy that, and we'll still keep you informed with this WECT News Now digital update. Of course, everyone loves to know about the weather first. Don't worry, we've got you covered. We're starting off with that. Let's pull up one of our first alert weather cams. We're going to be looking at Wrightsville Beach. Very sunny out there. 11 a.m. and you can see still, or not even still, but there are a lot of people out there enjoying the sun. And we are actually seeing a little cooler temperatures. I mean, I guess that's, what's the word, selective, because it's still really hot, yes, but it's cooler than what we've been seeing.
Yeah, seasonable for this time of year, average July temperatures for today, but that's not going to last very long because temperatures start to rise. We did issue first alert weather days for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's sort of our big story. You can see here with that timing as temperatures rise, it's going to be mostly in the afternoon. And as these temperatures rise, those feels like values are going to be near or over 105 degrees. So much, much warmer than the actual temperatures. But before we get to that, I just want to bring you back to...
All right, Grace is having some trouble with the remote.
But the main story for today is that today is the last day of temperatures in the 80s. We have a very similar pattern to those rain showers that we've had these past couple of days. These showers are trending to come a little earlier in the afternoon. So by the time we come off of work this evening, and certainly before sunset tonight, that's when those showers really settle down and giving us plenty of dry time to lead us into the rest of our week. So starting tomorrow for our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, very small chances of rain, and that is going to pretty much allow those temperatures to rise. So again, higher temperatures means higher feels like values. We want to make sure that you guys are staying aware with these temperatures. Make sure you use extra caution when you're heading outside. Try to limit your time outside overall for the rest of this week. But if you are outside, take breaks frequently, remain hydrated, have that place to cool off in. Today, temperatures, again, rising into the upper 80s, chance of afternoon showers. Tonight, things cool off into temperatures in the lower 70s, pretty much dry. And then by the time we wake up tomorrow, that's when temperatures start to rise back up into the lower 90s.
Okay, gotcha. So again, like you said, the lower rain chances is allowing temperatures to rise. Although that may be good news for a lot of people wanting to go to the beach, that is bad news for our drought. We actually really need those rain chances.
If for some reason, if my clicker was working, I would show you guys. Tune in at the 11 or at the 12. The clicker will be working then. But I'll show you the 7 and 10 day forecast is showing when we start our week next week, temperatures drop back down into the lower 90s and those rain chances increase again. So it's only a little bit of dry time for the rest of our week, and then higher rain chances come back to hopefully help us with the drought.
Okay, and those temperatures can sometimes be a little misleading, I've learned since living here, because it doesn't always account for the humidity.
Yes.
And this is my second summer here. This is your first summer here. It gets so humid.
Yes, like walking outside, when I put my glasses on, immediately it fogs up. So that's what those feels like values, the humidity influences those, which allow them to be into the triple digits.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be very stressful, very taxing outside.
And July and August are some of the worst months for the heat and humidity.
I'm ready for fall.
Yes.
Summer just started.
Right.
So it's all right.
Okay, well, thanks so much for that update.
We'll
see the clicker working.
Yes.
Coming up at noon. Yeah. All right, thanks so much, Grace.
Thank you.
And we do want to continue our coverage this morning on a wildfire that is still currently burning in Brunswick County. We actually do have an update for you, though, from what we told you yesterday. We've now learned a lightning strike is what sparked the fire. The last update from the NC Forest Service says it's burned nearly 300 acres since last Friday night when it first started. So these are all videos that you're watching that viewers sent us of the fire over the weekend. Forest Service says it started near Old Georgetown Road and Hill Swamp Road in Shallotte. It did threaten homes and businesses at first, but none are in danger. You still may see some smoke in the area, though, as fire crews continue to fully contain it. But as crews keep working, Shalotte's Mayor Art Dornfeld says there's something you can do to help, too.
just be real careful. That we do have a burn ban in the county. We have a burn ban in the town of Charlotte. So just be careful, mindful what you're doing, and be mindful of the stage 3 drought conditions, and try to conserve water as much as you can.
We want to get you new details too this morning on a shooting that police say took the life of 44-year-old Titus Singleton. Police say the shooting happened on Saturday night on South 12th Street. WECT's Connor Smith talked with Singleton's family and went to the scene himself yesterday. He has our story.
The pieces of a tragic night still visible on South 12th Street 2 days later.
It really kind of crushed me, but I know that he's in a better place now.
Keandre Marshall's uncle, Titus Singleton, died in a shooting Saturday night. Wilmington police say just before 10 p.m. Saturday, Singleton was shot several times. He died on the scene.
It was never a sad occasion or disagreement with him. He always had a smile on his face every time you saw him.
Police say the shooting appears isolated. Investigators have not identified a suspect yet.
We do believe that the victim was targeted, but if he knew the suspect, we're not quite that sure yet.
WPD Sergeant Ronald Evans says detectives are still interviewing witnesses, trying to figure out why Singleton was shot.
I can say that our detectives are working around the clock, day and night. I don't have a time frame as of now, but I will tell you that they are working feverishly to find a suspect and to bring them to justice.
Marshall says his family is frustrated. Nobody's been arrested yet. Family and friends are honoring Singleton with this memorial at the scene. Balloons, flowers, and letters spelling rest in peace, a scene Marshall never wanted to see.
And I want to encourage my family to keep pushing, because sad days don't last forever.
For now, they're still pushing for answers.
And of course, we'll get you an update more on that shooting when we learn more. For now, we're joined by WECT's Kim Ratcliffe.
Hi.
Welcome again.
Good to see you
Day 2 of me
again.
filling in. You get to be here.
I know.
So you have a lot coming up in the noon, and I know you have a health first story too that people are going to want to know about.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on a couple of things for the noon show, and one of the things we're going to be talking about is the story of a man left paralyzed after a motorcycle accident. He hit a phone pole going 110 miles an hour, and if you're looking at your screen right now, this is basically how he lives. He broke bones in his neck, leaving him paralyzed below the waist, and he's literally frozen in that sideways position. Took him 8 months to ever come out of his room. He's made a remarkable recovery mentally with something as small as Legos. So we'll hear more from him coming up today at noon. Want to give you an update on a traffic accident that we had on earlier this morning for viewers in our 825 and 856 cut-ins. We now have some video that we can show you of this wreck that damaged a Wave Transit bus and tied up traffic. It happened around 8 this morning on Carolina Beach Road near Antoinette Drive. That's in the Monkey Junction area of New Hanover County. According to the Highway Patrol, the driver turning left from Carolina Beach Road hit the bus right in front of the car wash there. There was one passenger on the bus, minor injuries reported, and the driver of the SUV charged with failure to yield. A couple of first alert traffic projects to warn you about now. Those king tides possibly causing some flooding and road closures in Carolina Beach. This typically happens anytime we see sometimes a full moon or a new moon. Flooding typically on Canal Drive, Florida Avenue, Carolina Beach Avenue North, and that does lead to some road closures. You're expected to look out for those from now until Thursday, July the 16th. Then another project happening in Wrightsville Beach. It's the Wrightsville Beach Bridge Replacement Project. This involves overnight lane closures on Causeway Drive or US 76 over Banks Channel. Both of the eastbound lanes closing nightly from 7 in the evening till 6 the next morning. That's going to continue Monday through Friday from now until July the 22nd. So keep that in mind. This is a big project, of course, replacing 3 of the bridges at Wrightsville Beach. So
Huge.
this is something we're going to be talking about for, the next, I think, couple months, years. It's a huge project.
Yeah, it's supposed to take like 4 years.
Something, so it's definitely supposed to take a long time. I don't remember the specifics.
Yes.
But I know these are preliminary things that are happening right now, trying to set up for the bigger project on both of these. So
Yeah,
we'll try
and
to
I actually did a story a month ago or so related to that project because that one overlaps with the project NCDOT is doing on Eastwood Road.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And they are going to be overlapping for a
and
few
people
years.
were upset about that
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, having big projects like that so close together.
happening
So
at the same time. Yeah.
lots to be in the know about coming up.
We'll keep up with it.
All right, thanks so much, Kim. And one other project we want to just update you on from what we told you yesterday. The work to put a roundabout at the intersection of South Madison Street, South Franklin Street, and South Lee Street in Whiteville, not going to start until next Monday. It was originally supposed to start yesterday. Weather conditions, however, pushed it back. This roundabout's going to replace the traffic signal at that intersection. Of course, when the work does begin, we'll keep you updated, and it'll take about 90 days to get that all completed. We're also working to get an update and more details about a deadly crash we told you about in Columbus County. This happened Friday outside of Fair Bluff. State Highway Patrol confirms a driver failed to stop at a stop sign near Rough and Ready Road and hit another car. We're told the driver and a passenger in the second car both died. We're still waiting to hear back from troopers on the victims' names. The driver of that first car, though, we do know went to the hospital and faces several charges, including misdemeanor death by vehicle. Now we're going to pull up a story on our website right now. This is what you can find right now online. The Whiteville Police Department arrested 2 people Monday, which was yesterday, after an alleged armed robbery vehicle was spotted entering Columbus County. And it led into a brief chase, we're told. According to Whiteville Police, Columbus Central alerted police around 3:30. Police tells officers quickly located the vehicle and tried to conduct a traffic stop before making brief contact, and then they say the suspects left the scene. So both the driver, 37-year-old Andre Alexander Freeman, that's this man on the left, and the passenger, 34-year-old Marissa Garcia, which is this woman on the right. We're told they were both arrested after a foot chase. All right, but now let's get to some happier news because we have a live special guest for you guys today. You can pull up the 2-shot now. So welcome, Emma.
Hi.
If you can't tell by her crown, she's won an amazing award. Is won the right word? Earned?
Yes.
Won. And your title is Queen, right?
I just won Team Petite USA 2026.
Okay, yes, I'll let you explain that better than I can because you know a lot more. Well, first, welcome. You look gorgeous, all in your getup. So first, for people who have no idea, just kind of explain what Petite USA is and Petite Teen USA, what that title means.
Petite USA is just another pageant system, but mainly dedicated to short girls. I know the Miss USA system is looking for those tall girls, so Miss Petite kind of gives us shorter girls a chance also. So this past weekend in Chicago, I got to compete for the teen division. I competed in swimsuit, interview, and evening gown, plus onstage question.
Okay, so how long does it take you to prepare for a competition like that?
I've been competing for the past 3 years trying to get to this very title. It has taken a lot of hard work, countless hours every week. All of my amazing coaches have been so much help.
Okay, and how long have you been competing in pageants in general?
I actually started when I was 6 weeks old, which sounds absolutely insane, but every weekend it's just been my favorite thing to do.
Okay, cool. And how many people did you compete against in this competition?
This weekend there was, I think, 25 in my division, and then they narrowed it down to a top 10, then to a top 5, and then your winner from there.
Okay, so walk me through what your reaction was on stage when you found out that the title is going to be yours or is yours.
To be honest, I literally just saw black. I was shaking uncontrollably. I have always been told no more than yes, whether it was as an athlete, on the stage, or just in life. So this yes brought so much joy and just unbelievably excitement to me.
Awesome. And we're showing some pictures now. This is the moment where you were waiting to hear your name, then you're crowned. What is it? What kind of emotions are you going through watching these pictures?
I was kind of just like, it's my time. I feel like I've been waiting for my time for the past 3 years. And when I heard my name called, I kind of just, to me, it's still not even real yet. I don't even think it's hit me yet.
Okay. Yeah, understandable because this was very recent. Obviously,
Oh,
still
yeah.
very fresh. So is this your first title? Have you won other titles?
This is my first national title. So I've had numerous state titles. I was the Princess of North Carolina. I have competed internationally and nationally, but this was the first time that I've actually won.
Well, that's amazing. Congratulations, if I haven't already told you
Thank
that.
you.
And you are from Carolina Beach, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what does it mean to you to be able to represent Carolina Beach with a national title?
I mean, not many people know about Carolina Beach. I mean, it's such a small town in North Carolina. And I mean, even in pageant world, North Carolina is not such a big state. So being from North Carolina is something completely different that most girls can't say they are. And being able to represent my hometown that has done so much for me just means the absolute world.
All right, and I have to ask, what's next? Do you have plans for another competition coming up?
Well, next summer I'll be competing at Miss Petite Universal. So then if I win there, I'll get to reign another year, but for internationally.
Okay, well, of course, we're all going to be cheering you on and wishing you the best of luck. Those are all the questions I had for you. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up or touch on today?
I think that's it. I just want everybody to know that your time is coming and to keep going.
Awesome. Such a great message. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're switching gears now to a story we also told you about yesterday. But now politics are being put aside as lawmakers give emotional tributes to their colleague and friend, Senator Lindsey Graham. Outside of the senator's office, a memorial continues to grow with flowers and notes of condolences. Here's Peyton Furtado with the story.
From big economic impacts like work with BMW and the port.
Some of the great things I know that he'll go is the port of Charleston. He deepened that made it one of the largest ports on the East Coast.
To small town support.
It's extremely helpful, being a smaller town, we have pretty limited revenue funds, and Senator Graham always recognized that. He came from a small town in South Carolina, and he made it a priority to give back and support those places.
Businesses, local towns, even individual voters tell us Lindsey Graham could be depended on. Mayor Ronnie O'Kelly says Graham never forgot where he came from, and when a disastrous tornado hit his hometown of Seneca, Graham was their first call.
We lost over 100 homes in that storm. Lost one life, which is one too many. But he was very active in trying to help us. FEMA is not an easy process. We all know that. So he worked very hard trying to help his hometown to just reimburse what we had spent over the years.
His funding helps South Carolinians on a day-to-day basis. Just this year, he secured funding for Clemson University's veterinarian program, Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport, and $5 million to Upstate Prisma Health's oncology program.
Gives residents of the upstate the chance to receive services without having to travel outside of our community, or in some cases have to forego treatment altogether. So without question, this advancement can, has, and will continue to save lives.
Graham himself told us before the primaries, helping South Carolinians wasn't just part of the job, it was a calling.
I think it's very important that you understand that I care about constituent service as much as I care about anything else.
When his office announced his death, they said it followed a sudden and a brief illness. A preliminary exam found a tear in the inner wall of the aorta called an aortic dissection. Sorry, I'm pulling this up really quick. There we go. Doctors often call aortic dissections silent or sudden killers because people may have little warning and then decline can happen fast. We actually talked with a doctor from Novant. He says aortic dissections are rare but life-threatening. The National Institutes of Health estimates about 13,000 people die from them each year. It happens when there's a tear in the innermost layer of the aorta, the body's main artery coming out of the heart. Doctors say people with high blood pressure and high cholesterol can be at a higher risk. And one reason this is so dangerous, the biggest red flag is often sudden, severe chest pain, and it can be easy to explain away or wait out.
What everyone basically says is that it's the worst chest pain that ever happened. And a lot of times that chest pain is described as a stabbing pain that kind of radiates from the chest all the way through the back. So it is certainly a dangerous condition to have. We had terrible loss with Senator Graham.
Doctors say it's vital to maintain regular visits and get blood work done. They also say it's important to think of any preventative care, meaning staying on top of medications. $2 million will help build homes working people can afford. Commissioners in New Hanover County approved an investment last night. And this isn't the first time commissioners have put money toward affordable housing. WECT's Rachel Hawley has more details for us on what this money would actually go to.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Tonight, New Hanover County Commissioners voted unanimously to invest $2 million into a workforce housing model aimed at getting apartments built faster and for less money. County leaders say the investment would replace private investor funding, and in return, the county would earn a 5% interest rate, getting its full investment back after 10 years.
I think this is creative. I think it's out of the box. It's using money that we have in our community to put units on the ground.
The developer of this latest project is Cape Fear Development. The model, called Proximity Blue Clay, would also allow the developer to offer rents for $300 to $500 cheaper than typical market rates, with affordability lasting 10 years.
And at the end, we get the initial investment all the way back. That's really good. I think really smart, really creative.
Commissioners say the goal is to keep occupancy high while creating more mixed income housing options countywide.
All right, again, that was WECT's Rachel Hawley. We're going to switch gears now and go back to giving you an update on the wildfire in Brunswick County if you missed it at the top of the show. So if you take a look at this is the North Carolina Forest Services. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, but this is their wildfire map. So anyone can access this. This is public. You can just look up North Carolina Forest Service wildfire map, but I've already obviously pulled it up. So this will show you all of the wildfires all over, including our state here. You can see Wilmington right here, and you can even see this number in the corner. So there are 70 active wildfires in North Carolina. So we're going to zoom in because the one in Brunswick County that we've been talking about is over here. You can see this is Charlotte right here, and this red dot is where the fire actually is. So if you click on this, this will give you the most accurate or up-to-date information. This is directly from the State Forest Service. So you can see the last update was this morning at 8:03, and you can see the containment here is still at 50%. Oh, excuse me. And the fire size still sitting just below 300 acres. So these numbers haven't changed since we talked to the Forest Service on Sunday, but I actually was able to talk to officials just yesterday, and they told me just because these numbers aren't changing does not mean that fire crews are not working. They are. So you can do this yourself and be checking in for updates if you want to with this website. But I also was able to talk to Charlotte's Mayor Art Dornfeld about his experience with the fire and also give you the latest update. Let's take a look at that. Viewers capturing and sending us videos of a scary scene over the weekend as first responders worked to battle the start of a wildfire in Brunswick County on Friday night. The fire we now know as the Quarry Road Fire in Charlotte.
When I got to the command center, which was about 9 o'clock at night, you could see the orange from a lot of flames.
Charlotte Mayor Art Dornfeld, who I talked with over Zoom, says several agencies, even from across state lines, responded as the fire grew bigger.
At one time, law enforcement, including Charlotte Police Department, were going door to door asking some residents to evacuate because they just didn't know where that fire was going to go.
Thankfully, Dornfeld says neighbors were able to return home a few hours later and no evacuations have happened since. He says no serious injuries have been reported either.
We have not had any injured firefighters, and believe me, we had a lot of them.
As of Monday, the scene looks a lot less scary.
That is crazy.
But its impact is still visible, and so is smoke. In the latest update from NC Forest Service, officials say its size is holding at 283 acres, and the fire remains 50% contained.
As you're traveling through this area, be very cautious. There's still smoke in the area. Firefighters are still going to be around.
It's a whole lot better situation today than it was on Friday.
But as crews keep working,
we appreciate all their hard work. They saved our town.
Dornfeld says there's something you can do too.
Just be real careful that we do have a burn ban in the county. So just be careful, mindful what you're doing, and be mindful of the stage 3 drought conditions.
All right, listen to this. Netflix is rolling the dice on a new game show based on a popular board game. That video should have gave it away. The streaming giant announced it's working on a Monopoly competition series that's going to come out in fall of next year. So you'll have to wait a little bit, but they have made the announcement. The show will immerse 12 players in a life-size Monopoly town square, of course inspired by the game. The winner will take home a $2 million prize. And hey, who's to say it's not going to be you? Netflix is accepting online applications now for players. We can't talk about games without bringing up the World Cup. The first semifinal game of the 2026 FIFA World Cup will start in just a few hours. This is some vile video I found of fans watching World Cup games. France and Spain will be the ones battling it out first on the field after the former beat Morocco and the latter slipped past Belgium. Kickoff for that game, again, against France and Spain, is going to kick off at 3 o'clock in Dallas. And it's, by the way, at AT&T Stadium, which is home to the Dallas Cowboys. Gotta shout them out. That's my favorite team, of course. But Team USA, if you haven't been watching, was recently eliminated over a week ago following a 4-1 loss to Belgium in round 16. England is also going to be playing Argentina in the semifinals. That game is going to be tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and that game is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. But it's in Kansas City, where the passion for these teams seems to run really strong. England and Argentina have embraced the city since the soccer tournament started, and one brewery has helped generate that spirit. Elise Skoning has more.
England and Argentina have called KC home since the start of the tournament.
It's another world.
Argentina-born Claudia Martinovic says sharing this with her granddaughter Nia runs in the family.
He's running down the streets of the plaza in Kansas City in 1978 when Argentina won the World Cup.
Here's a photo of her dad.
It feels very special and something we'll always remember, and I hope my grandkids will remember. Because I still remember that time. I was a child.
England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford told KSHB 41 sports reporter Matt Foster the team has enjoyed their stay in Prairie Village.
It's been really good. The people around the area are staying lovely people, always very polite.
Shawnee's Friction Beer Co. is like a watch party hub for England supporters. And that's only grown during the World Cup. Their head brewer Doug Steele even specializes in English beers.
It's been a fun month, I'll tell you. And we can't thank the public enough for coming in and supporting us. Not only that, but supporting their national teams and whatnot.
Claudia Martinovic has found what both teams have in Kansas City this summer. Home.
Are you going to recreate this photo? You need to do something like this.
Oh, let's win and I will.
Okay. I'm your Johnson County reporter, Elise Schoenig, KSHB 41 News.
And of course, I had to bring in WECT's executive producer and sports lover, movie lover, all things lover, Corey Priest.
What is that?
You are always talking about different things.
That's true. I think my interests are very widespread.
Exactly. That's all I meant by that.
Okay, good.
Anyway, Corey's been watching the World Cup. I have not, so I feel I'm not the expert to talk about the World Cup.
Yeah.
Even though I was cheering on Team USA.
Yeah.
So what is your take since you've been watching on these final four teams?
So I think a lot of people who follow along with this, if you follow along with this particular News Now every day, you typically see resident FIFA World Cup expert Brian Bruneau in here talking about it. I'm sure he's off doing something a lot more important than that right now. So
I didn't know he was
I've been kind
invested.
of delegated that, yeah. Regardless, I think it's funny, going into this tournament, I think most people would have said if there were 4 teams in the world that we would like to see playing, it would be all 4 of these teams. And so this is kind of like when you go into the NCAA tournament and you want to see the top seeds play each other. I would say these are probably all the top 4 seeds across the book that people would have wanted to see. A lot of people probably would say that France and Spain should be the overall matchup for the championship.
Okay.
For the World Cup. That being said, you've got a team in England who hasn't won since 1960. Argentina, Spain, and France have all won a World Cup in the last 15 years. And so they've all been in about the bunch. So England overall is probably the underdog, which is funny because they created the sport back in the late 1800s. So
okay, so I'm going to cheer on England then.
Yes.
Now I know who to cheer for.
Yeah, that's who I'm cheering for.
Okay.
I don't really have too much allegiances to anybody else, but of all of them, that's the underdog. Obviously, Messi will probably get a lot of attention. He's the greatest player of all time. And so someone easy enough to follow along to just because of name basis only. But it should be really good. Unfortunately, a lot of people are saying, why are these games being played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
During a weekday.
During a weekday,
Yeah.
You have to think, though, that a majority of the people that are watching this are in Europe, or at least in a much different time zone than what we are. And so for them to be able to see this game at 8, 9 o'clock their time, as opposed to 2 or 3 a.m. their time, they kind of have to be played at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Yeah, that's true. And I guess it could be worse. Like, at least we're not watching it.
Yeah, so for instance,
hours.
2 games ago, whenever England played Mexico, a friend of mine was in London, and she texted me and said, "I've never been more awake at 3:14 a.m.
Oh
than
my
what I am
gosh.
right now." And that's when the game ended. And so in London local time, and so that's why I'm sure she is much happier with the 3 p.m.
Yes.
kickoff tomorrow for that game.
Right? Okay, so we obviously just watched a package about a bar. Where was it? Do you remember?
Kansas City.
Yes, thank you. In Kansas City, really trying to enliven those spirits there. I know you've been watching at different places around town, right?
Sure.
Where have you been watching the World Cup?
So I think obviously the biggest place would probably be the Rift. That's created quite a rift in that
Yeah.
neighborhood with how much
Nice.
noise they generate there. That being said, it is a really fun place. Hundreds of people there. The last time I went, there was about an hour wait to get in. So there's obviously a lot more options around town. Tap Yard is a great place as well, which is down on 16th Street, so not that far away from the Rift. And then if you really want that true, authentic kind of pub feeling, Sláinte downtown. It's an Irish pub, especially for the England game tomorrow. I saw videos of this past weekend. They put up a massive England flag over half the wall in there. Most of their expats will be there, so it really is the place to be as far as if you're going to watch the England national team play tomorrow.
All right, good to know. There's some options for you guys. Also, a big thing in the summer, usually every summer, is the summer blockbusters, all the new movies coming out.
Sure.
I know you're also a movie guru, and I actually can speak on this because I love going to new movies too. What have been some of your favorite new movies so far this summer?
So, favorite new movies this summer, obviously, some of the blockbusters I haven't seen, like Toy Story 5. I haven't seen
Same.
Toy Story 4 or 3 either, so
Same.
I'm way behind the ball when it comes to that movie. But that's been really big. Supergirl was kind of a bust financially. Same thing with Mandalorian and Grogu, which I saw that. I really liked it. It's also one of those movies where if you have never watched that TV show before, chances are you're probably not going to go see that movie.
Yeah.
As far as big movies this summer that I really did enjoy, Obsession was one. I think that's one that pretty much anyone who's seen it almost universally likes it.
Yeah.
The movie was a $750,000 budget that just cracked $400 million globally.
Yeah, I cannot. That still blows my mind.
Yeah.
And it was shot in what, like 20 days?
Yeah, and it set a record for lowest budget
Yeah.
film and highest proceeds brought in. Backrooms is another one that had a small budget, kind of a Gen Z director flair. And so I was thinking of this morning, actually, so it's funny that we're talking about this, is how many people have been going to the movies this summer. It's really been, ever since COVID, movies have kind of slowly died off a little bit as far as people going to theaters. Obviously, streaming options play a large part in that. But there's been a big resurgence in people going back to the theaters. And obviously this weekend, you have possibly the biggest blockbuster all year in The Odyssey coming out. Christopher Nolan's latest film, Oppenheimer, Interstellar, Inception, The Dark Knight trilogy. You know, this is probably the biggest director of our modern era, kind of a Spielberg type person, if you will. And this film in particular, I would highly recommend going to IMAX the Regal Mayfair to see. It's the first feature-length film that's been shot entirely with IMAX cameras. And so there's only about 8 or 9 65 millimeter IMAX cameras in the entire world.
Wow.
And they were able to use all of them to film this movie. And that's never been done before. And so when we're talking about that, what does that mean essentially for someone watching at home?
Yeah.
Or wanting to go see it at the movie theater? It will be unlike any other film you've probably ever seen in your life. And so only just because of how big it's going to be, the grand scale of it all. It's not just going to be something that you go and see, at your local hometown movie theater, spend the extra $10, $15 and really go see it how it was supposed to be viewed, which was at IMAX. Obviously, all-star cast. I know you'll probably talk about that, or they will here coming up in this story that we have about the Odyssey.
Yes.
Seemingly everyone and their brother wanted to be a part of this, including Travis Scott has a cameo role in the film as well.
I didn't know that, actually. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really big film. Be interesting to see how much money it brings in. And a lot was spent on it, and for good reason. But easily the most anticipated movie of the summer for sure.
Oh, yes. And that comes out on the 17th, so only 3 days from now.
Yep.
I know it's on my list to go see, too. And since we're talking about it, of course, we can't talk about it and not show you. So, as Corey mentioned, Christopher Nolan has assembled really an all-star cast for this film. And he actually got to talk with Nolan and the cast. So, let's go ahead and play that.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife. A son.
And then what?
We won the war. Help me go home.
It was definitely the hardest, the most challenging, but not just for me, for every department, and that's what made it such a joy. It was like looking around at all of these people who are just so good. His crew is so good.
They understand how to project something that's larger than life, but they can make it human as well and make it relatable, and that's really, this is a story about family, this is a story about coming of age, homecoming, all these things, war, love, loss. You want these things to be really, really personal and relatable.
It was just taken to a whole other level with this movie. The scale of what we were doing, the locations we were going to, what was asked of us physically was just ramped up to a whole other level.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
Bringing vengeance.
Usually the Odyssey, it's more of an action road trip kind of experience.
Action-packed adventure.
Yeah, with monsters, creatures, magic and mythology. But I mean, the emotion that Chris was able to wring out of the story is what really helped me.
A film that is emotional, that has great scale, that has amazing action. That sequence when they're opening the gates of Troy is like one of the most tense sequences, and the music in that moment.
Oh, Ludwig's music.
Yeah, it's unlike anything I've ever seen or been a part of.
No one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, again, that looks like a great movie, so go see it this weekend if you have a chance. We also want to tell you about a crazy story, all right? A video went viral online of a man getting attacked by a bison and thrown into the air. I'm not exaggerating. We're about to show you the video, and the survivor now speaking up about the experience.
Look out, a bison! Look out!
For the first time overnight, Carl McDaniel is opening up about his now viral face-to-face encounter with a raging bison last Friday at Montana's Yellowstone National Park. The 65-year-old grandfather now recovering from a broken femur after the massive animal chased him around a camp before tossing him high into the air. McDaniel telling CNN, "We were about 100 yards away, and the bison was not aggressive, so they snapped a few photos and continued walking." Photographer Mike McLeod filmed the wild encounter.
They were doing everything right. They were respectful, and once the bison showed any agitation, they left, and they were just at the wrong time in the wrong place.
McDaniel says around that time, a truck drove by, and the driver honked his horn in what he believes was an apparent attempt to get the bison to move. And it worked. The sound agitated the bison, and it began running toward them. McDaniel telling CNN, "There was not a lot of time, so I told my grandson to run in one direction, and I went the other to try and draw him away." After chasing the pair around a wooded area, the hulking animal eventually caught up to McDaniel and sent him flying. McDaniel says he was on the ground and unable to move when something remarkable happened. "He was right on top of me. He could have stomped on me. He could have gored me. He could have done almost anything to take my life, and he did not do so." That's when the photographer says he immediately stopped filming and ran to help, yelling at the bison along with other Good Samaritans to scare it off.
I could see that bison was standing over him and was pumping his head, very aggressive and agitated, and I knew that somebody had to distract that thing.
McDaniel, who had surgery on Sunday, says he's grateful for all the people who helped and thankful it was not much worse.
No. Well, today, if you didn't already know, is Cow Appreciation Day. Yes, it is a real thing, and you probably know about it if you're a Chick-fil-A lover. We're going to pull up some... That is Gabe. Gabe is in the studio. How... All right, well, because of Cow Appreciation Day, we're going to go over some fun facts about cows that I didn't even know. Cows have a 4-chambered stomach, which means they have a specialized digestive system that helps them break down grass, which other animals are unable to eat. Cows also have a very strong sense of smell. Get this, they can detect with their noses odors up to over 10 miles away. I also learned cows can experience joy, frustration, fear, anxiety, and even sadness. Studies have actually revealed cows depend on each other for emotional support. Last one that I thought was pretty funny too. Cows can walk up a set of stairs, but they can't walk back down because their knees don't bend the correct way. That all kinds of interesting things. So, on Cow Appreciation Day, if you didn't know, Chick-fil-A will give you free food if you dress up like a cow. I actually went through our archives for this video. This is video from back in 2010 of Cow Appreciation Day at a local Chick-fil-A here. I couldn't figure out exactly which one, but I know that local ones around this area still do this. So, customers who show up dressed like a cow will score a free entree. It can be spots, ears, or a full costume like we saw at the beginning of this video. The promotion runs from 7 a.m. this morning and will go until 7 o'clock tonight at participating Chick-fil-A restaurants. And we're going to pull up the Mac Mini to, our website, so you can see what's on the free menu. So for breakfast, you can see Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. Corey in here earlier talked about how he got a wrong order from McDonald's of a biscuit, so that's what I thought of. Anyway, for lunch and dinner, Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, that's my order, nuggets, all the things kids 12 and under can select it and get a prize. All right, we got some people in studio. You heard Gabe mooing earlier.
Yeah, how dare you?
I think you've earned your Chick-fil-A, though, because I've, of course, brought nuggets on Cow Appreciation Day. Here's the rule, though.
Okay,
Here's the rule. You have to dress like a cow to get free Chick-fil-A. So I've done the honors.
Oh, boy.
Of printing cow prints. Here's some tape.
This is amazing.
Wow.
You know what? I can make this work, you know? Right?
So we have to dress as...
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Dress, because that's the deal at Chick-fil-A.
you know what?
How do you expect that much tape to hold all of this cow design here, JC? I don't...
You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking we can get a nice little crown action.
That's
here.
actually, I like that idea.
There you go.
I think that works.
Considering we saw that bison toss that man like a rag doll, I'll go shoulder pads.
Oh,
because that's like a football
like
tackle.
I like it.
There we go.
Yeah, we can get the cow crown.
You know, the funny thing is I actually had Chick-fil-A before I came in here. My wife and I just got back from there for breakfast, so I'm gonna.
Did you see people dressed as cows?
I did, including some of the Chick-fil-A employees. There was a manager at the Chick-fil-A in Leland that had just like a cow print shirt. I'm like, either there's a promotion going on, or he used to work for Dell. If anyone remembers how those, or Gateway, I think it was. Oh, there we go.
Well, I have glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh, that does help. All right, Grace has earned her Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Yes.
Eat in there.
They're probably not still warm, but
It's chicken nuggets.
It doesn't matter. It's Chick-fil-A, right?
And Grace, you were telling us you've actually like gone to Chick-fil-A and done this
Yes,
before.
several times. Not dressed like this, but
Please do.
Please.
Yes.
On my
After the
lunch
noon,
break.
after the noon, please go to Chick-fil-A dressed like that.
Yay!
Yeah, Kiara, nice. Love that.
Kiara's earned her nugs.
We had a cow print blanket, and so I would just wrap it around me.
Oh,
It worked.
that works. That's a creative way to do it.
We don't have one of those in the archives or in the whatever that we have in this building. I'm surprised that we have like something that's like cow themed or
Would a leather jacket work?
a leather.
Would
Ooh,
that be
technically, yeah.
unfortunate?
I was gonna say, does it have to be this pattern or
Yeah.
can it be? Yeah.
It's authentic,
Any form of
cow.
Yeah.
It is authentic. It's authentic.
That's
That's really
true.
what's important here, right?
So if you're just joining us and wondering why Grace
What did
has
I
this
tune into?
on her head, it's Cow Appreciation Day. Go thank a cow. Anyway, for Cow Appreciation Day,
Go thank a cow.
Chick-fil-A will give you free entrees if you dress like a cow. So
This public service announcement brought to you by J.C. Cole
In the ad council.
and the Ad Council. That's it.
anyway, go get your free Chick-fil-A at participating Chick-fil-A's. I know the Chick-fil-A on Oleander is doing this. Just make sure you dress like a cow. And we're going to enjoy our
Leland's doing
Chick-fil-A.
that, I think
Okay,
so,
and
yeah.
Leland. Okay, yeah. They'll post it on their Facebook page, so check those out. We're going to enjoy our nugs. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for WECT News at noon coming up.